Holly, and things are still a little crazy. Obviously, it's the beginning of April. It's the 11th, in case you're wondering. But I felt the desire to film, so I'm going to do a book haul. I think I did a January book haul, so some of these books may be redundant because I think I'm just going to do quarterly hauls now because I don't want like time-sensitive content really. So yeah, some of these may be redundant, but that's fine. I don't care. So Murphy, stop it. I did split these up into 3 categories. So books I got in book boxes, 2020 releases, and then everything else. So like, it feels weird to call these backlist books because a bunch of these came out like in December, or some of them came out in December, so it's weird to call them a backlist, but you know. Let's start with the book box books. And I'll put time codes in case you want to jump around at different sections, in case you only care about certain things. So I got 5 from book boxes. I subscribed to 2 book boxes, so that's, you'll notice that's not 6. So one of the book boxes I subscribe to is FairyLoot, and sorry if you hear plastic, it's Murphy. No, let's not get on. Can we not, please? Okay, you can just sit there, that's fine. FairyLoot has been hit really hard by the virus situation. I believe they get a bunch of their stuff from China, like manufacturers in China, so that makes sense. I'm actually surprised OwlCrate hasn't had the same problem. I don't know if OwlCrate just has like a different production schedule and maybe they like get their stuff in earlier. I don't know. Because from everything I've seen, they're not planning on any delays. And I know I also subscribed or like ordered the Chain of Gold box, and that hasn't come in yet. It's in like production. I think they're shipping those out. Those also come from England, so I expect it to take a while. But I'm not gonna read it right away anyways, so I don't care. Stop it. So yeah, I don't mind at all. But so I did get, let's see if I can even remember which boxes these came in. I think these are the 3 OwlCrate ones. Sorry if you move, it's the cat. Stop. So I also don't remember, I think this was the January FairyLoot box, and that was Woven in Moonlight by Isabel Ibanez, and this is a Bolivian inspired political fantasy, which I am very excited for. This was actually on my list of books to buy, so it worked out really well that it came in a book box for me. And I'm not going to go into like super detail about these. And then the February FairyLoot box was really exciting because it was The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller, which was one of my most anticipated releases. Fun fact, it was a little disappointing. I gave it 3 stars, but it's fine. But I think this cover is really pretty. And like I said, this is the FairyLoot one, and the side has that, and the dust jacket has some art on it as well. And this one I have read. The OwlCrate boxes, I think it was Scavenge the Stars by Tara Sim in January, and this is a Count of Monte Cristo retelling, I believe, which I've never read. I've never seen the movie. I know nothing about it, so yeah, but this does sound interesting. It's like a revenge story, so I do want to read this. And then another book that had been on my list to buy was All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. So again, this worked out that it ended up in a book box. This was the February, I believe, OwlCrate. I think this cover is gorgeous. I think this has gotten mixed reviews, but it's like a water-based kind of fantasy, and I find I like that. So works for me. And then this one I do know was the March OwlCrate because it was the most recent one, and it was The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu, which I was like mildly interested in, but I wasn't gonna like run out and buy it. But because it came in the OwlCrate. I am excited to have it and read it at some point. I've only read the Legend trilogy by Marie Lu. I haven't been like drawn to her other stuff, but this is probably the most interesting to me. I think the cover is really pretty. I think it's pretty similar to the normal cover. Oh, I didn't realize the end pages like were the map. That's really cool. And the page like ends, whatever this is called, I don't know, are like silver, and I think that's really pretty. This is a gorgeous book, if nothing else. So then let's talk about other 2020 releases that I purchased. I mean, obviously I purchased those because I purchased my book boxes, but like different. I knew what I was getting when I bought them. So first, I actually pre-ordered The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. So this is the regular cover. And I did this to get a pre-order exclusive, plus I didn't know if it would come in any of my book boxes. But I do, even though this book was a little disappointing, I've given her other 3 books. They're behind me. Yeah, like right behind me. I've given them all 5 stars. So I have no problem with supporting her. It's fine. I don't care. 2 can be on my shelf. Another pre-order that I did for a pre-order incentive was Echoes Between Us by Katie McGarry. I pretty much always pre-order Katie McGarry books because she does pre-order incentives. Plus I like her and support her. And I have not read this yet. I feel like it's going to be emotional. Her books usually are. So I'm kind of putting it off. And I don't know. It'll be what it'll be. We'll deal with it when we get there. But it's like contemporary YA. I'm sure I'll like it. Speaking of contemporary YA, we have Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. And people have just been raving about this, so I decided I had to buy it. I keep meaning to read it, but February was a crazy reading month. I read so much. I read 29 books. March was much slower. Still good, but much slower for me. April so far has been pretty good, but a lot of it's audio and I have no idea what's gonna happen in the world. I'm one of those people that the world has definitely impacted my reading negatively instead of reading more. But I definitely want to read this. I just have some review books I have to get to. But I've heard it's really cute and it sounds like it's kind of like an enemies or rivals to lovers story, which I'm excited for. I like that. And I'm hoping that there's like actual tweets in here because like textual communication is like one of my favorite things in fiction. Another new release was The Stars We Steal by Alexa Dunn. And I started watching Alexa's videos last year and I had heard about her books and like her other book, Brightly Burning, I think that's what it's called. And I do have an interest in that, but this is, I hear some people say Jane Austen in space, but I'm pretty sure it's Persuasion specifically in space. And Persuasion is my personal favorite Jane Austen novel. So I had to pick this up and I kind of want to do like a retellings adaptation series. And so this is another Persuasion retelling. I already own one. I've read one. I want to reread it anyways. So that'll be perfect for that. Another one was Heartland by Serena Bowen. This is the latest book in her True North series. And of course I had to buy it because it's a Serena Bowen book. Plus this is about Dylan Shipley, who I feel like I've just like seen grow up. He was a teenager when we first met him. I mean, like really, he was like almost like a college student. But still, I feel like I've seen him grow up. And yeah, I love Serena Bowen. I love this like world she has built. It makes me want to move to Vermont. I feel like I would hate Vermont, but this makes me want to move there. At the end of March, Jennifer L. Armentrout had a huge, big news. She kept teasing it, and I thought it was just going to be like an announcement about a book, but no. It was that she was releasing a book, and that was from Blood and Ash. And I actually bought this on ebook so I could read it right away, but I did also buy the physical copy because I like physical copies. But it was the end of March. Amazon is delaying orders, which I'm fine with, by the way. I actually have an Amazon order that I'm going to be placing soon, and if it takes a month to get here, I honestly don't care. It's fine with me. Like, Amazon's got to do what Amazon has got to do. It's fine. But this thing is a chunker. It is high fantasy, but it is super heavy on the romance. I thought it was a standalone, which is part of why I felt comfortable picking it up, but it's not. I can't remember how many books. I think she's contracted for 3. But this was like literally something she's been wanting to do for a long time, and then last fall basically some of her writer friends convinced her to write it, and she did, and then she got it. It's independently published in that it's published not by her but by an independent publisher. It's not like a big publishing house, so you can really only buy it on Amazon and an ebook, but it's like professionally edited, even though self-published books are usually professionally edited too, but it went through like a more traditional thing. I don't know, but it's high fantasy, it's heavy on the romance, it is super Jennifer L. Armentrout, so if you like her other stuff you'll probably like this. And then the last 2 new releases were Wicked Bite by Janine Frost, which is the second book in her Night Rebel series, and I need to read this like ASAP. This is Ian's story. Murphy, what are you doing? And then of course I bought Chasing Cassandra by Lisa Kleypas. I haven't read this yet. I'm like holding off on doing it. Like, does anyone else do that? Like, not read books because you're like, I'm going to need them at another time in my life. That's what I'm doing. It's fine. So now let's talk the more backlist books. I bought a lot of books, you guys. I'm not proud of myself. So these I do remember talking about before, but I did buy the Folk of the Air trilogy. I bought the Barnes & Noble exclusive editions. So I got The Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing. I've actually read this whole series. I gave them all 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's probably my favorite thing that Holly Black has written. Not that the bar was very high, but I've always wanted to like her stuff. So I'm glad that finally happened. Plus, your girl has to always support fellow Hollies. Us Hollies have to stick together. But yes, so I picked these up. But I kind of like the white covers too. So like part of me wants to, I've been going through a phase where I'm buying multiple editions of books now. It's not good. It's not, I don't have room for books. Like I literally rearranged the library. I have like one and a half shelves that are empty, and then 3 of like those cube things. These 3 shelves, there's only stuffed animals on the top of all of them, so in theory books could go up there, but they would probably just fall down. I'm not saying by the Murphy cat, but I know I'm not the one walking up there, so probably him. And literally this library, it's my dining room, is full of books. It is literally as full as it possibly can be. So I need duplicate books just in different editions. Like I need a hole in the head. But it's probably gonna happen anyways because like the economy, right? Like they need me to spend money. And as somebody who still has a job, I feel like it's my duty as a citizen of the world. Anyways, I had said I wanted to buy these 2 alternative editions of books that I already own. Speaking of buying different editions, one is Dark Triumph, the second book in the Robin Lefevre's series, or by Robin Lefevre, the second book in his Fair Assassins series. I got Grave Mercy for Christmas in this version, and I love it. I am unhauling the alternative edition of this though because I don't like it. I think it's ugly. So this will be on my shelf now. And then Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I actually do really like the hardcover Cassandra Clare books because they're all the same and I think they look very pretty, but my mom had bought me the 2nd and 3rd books for Christmas in this, and they have matching, like the spines like create an image, so I was like, well, they have to match on my shelf. So at some point I will probably buy the 2nd and 3rd in hardcover. So I have those, but I'll also have this. Hopefully I like this series, but now that I own all of them and they're all out, I'm comfortable reading them. I also picked up a nonfiction book, and that was Good Morning, Good Life by Amy Landino. She is a YouTuber. I really like her channel. I think it's just Amy Landino. It might be Amy TV, but I don't remember. But I like her content, and I do want to read this. I also bought the audio version, or I like used an Audible credit. And then I picked up 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson, because I own the sequel and I really want to read it, but I feel like I need to reread this one because I read it like my sophomore year in college and that was forever ago. And I remember liking this book, so I figure to have it on my shelf is not a bad thing. I got this used from thrift books. Another book I got used from thrift books was Off the Clock by Ronnie Lauren. I actually picked this up because for my Q2 TBR, this is one of the books I picked, and I did that at the end of March, so I knew it was coming, so I picked this up from thrift books. And I had read the second book in this series a while ago and enjoyed it well enough, so I figured I would pick this up again, or pick this up as well. Speaking of which, I also got The One for You by Ronnie Lauren, which is the fourth and final book in her The Ones Who Got Away series. I read this as an e-arc last year. I really enjoyed it. I loved the whole series and I just wanted to have a finished copy on my shelf. And then when I was doing my thrift books order, I needed like one more book to get to $10 because that's free shipping for thrift books. So I had recently read an arc of a Maya Rodale book, and I was like, you know what, I really like Maya Rodale. I've read her books before and enjoyed them. I need to read more. So I ended up buying Lady Bridget's Diary. I think this is the first book in one of her series, so I thought I would give this one a try. And I just needed to get to $10, so I did. And then finally, the last time I got my hair done, I went to Barnes & Noble. I was actually looking for a book for my father for his birthday, and which they didn't have, even though they said they had it. And I was supposed to get my hair done today, and I know that's like such a silly thing to be upset about, but I am. And I'm less upset about getting my hair done. Like, my hair is actually holding up really well. My color is holding really well. Plus, I'm not going anywhere, so it's not like it matters. But I am really worried about my hair salon and the ladies at my hair salon. And, you know, I just worry about people like that who literally, I mean, fortunately, they can apply for unemployment, right? But like the woman who does my hair, she has 3 children, one of whom is still when do you stop being a newborn? Like, he's probably like 6 months old. So, you know, that makes me worry and everything. So it's more being concerned about that than me like being able to go get my hair done. But, you know, but the last time I got my hair done, I did go to Barnes & Noble and I bought 3 books because I went there and they didn't have what I wanted, so naturally I bought other things. These were on like displays, so I picked up Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. They had this in, I think, Sense and Sensibility too, like a similar style. I wish this was hardcover, but that's like my only complaint. I don't like Sense and Sensibility, so I didn't buy that one. But my Pride and Prejudice is really old and it's not the most attractive book, so someday I'll get an even prettier edition, but this one is pretty cute. And then I bought these 2 beauties. I think these books are like the cutest editions. So I bought The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett, which I already own multiple copies of. I know I'm turning into Haley, but she owns like 100 copies of Alice in Wonderland and I own like 4 copies of Secret Garden, so it's fine. I do own 2 copies of Alice in Wonderland though. But it's just really pretty and cute. I really like it. I like the bright colors. And then A Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett as well, which I have. Oh my gosh, look at that like greenish blue. It's so pretty. Which I read this in high school, maybe college, I don't remember, one of those. But it was a library book, so I've never owned a copy of this, but I do like it. I like the movie better, or at least when I first read it I did. I think I might reread this at some point just to see like if my opinion has changed. It's probably been at least 10 years since I read it. but again, it's just gorgeous. I would love, I have no idea what editions these are, like who created them, because like these books, just like Austen, are in the public domain, so anybody can do them. But I should try to figure that out, and then maybe they make Austen, because I like these. These are really cute. So yeah, those are the books I bought. I am really into tracking things with numbers, and I just like don't talk about that on the channel, but I think I'm gonna start talking about it. So I wrote down some like notes about my book haul. So in the first 3 months of 2020, I ended up buying 26 books. 5 were from book boxes, 8 were 2020 releases, and 13 were backlist books. Now, obviously the shadows between us are 2 of those, so I have duplicates, but that's fine. Prior to purchasing them, I had already read 6 of these. Since buying them, I've read 7. So that leaves 13 unread, so 50% are unread still. And I feel like that's not that bad. But when you come back for like my Q2 summer TBR or book haul, hopefully the red thing is better. But I'm pretty sure I've already bought like 26 books, and we're only like 10 days into the month of April, so that's good. But what are you gonna do? It's for the economy. That's what I keep telling myself. It's fine. I don't have a problem. I'm not stressed buying books and other things. Like, it's fine. It's fine. We're all gonna be fine. But in actuality, like, we are going to be fine. Like, it's a really scary time. It's a really unsettling time. I know. I know I personally, my anxiety had been bad before this. I had been dealing with some depression, and it's scary now. It's scary to be stuck in your home or losing your job. Thank God I'm not losing my job. I won't lose my job. I work in finance, so things are really busy, and my company has committed to not laying off or cutting hours. In fact, we're hiring right now, which is great, but it's still scary, you know? Like, you still wonder, like, what if I did lose my job? Like, part of me, like, just to be honest with you, like, part of me, I'm probably gonna have to sign my lease in like the next month, and my plan was to stay here, and in all honesty, like, I will stay here. It makes the most sense. But part of me was like, no, like, don't re-sign your lease and move out. But where am I gonna go? Like, live at home? Like, I don't want to go back home, especially in the situation I am right now. Like, I could go live with my aunt, I guess. Like, that's really like my only option. I can't live with my mom for a variety of reasons. Like, she lives in a senior community, and she lives in a 1-bedroom, and also, like, right now, who knows how long this is gonna last. My mom is high risk. I have to do all of her grocery shopping for her. It really wouldn't be smart for us to live together. I can't live with my grandma. Again, on top of being elderly, she's high risk because she has heart problems. I can't live with my dad because he lives like 40 minutes away from me, and I'm already like 30 minutes away from work. That'd just be irresponsible. Because someday we will go back. And it's crazy to not re-sign my lease out of fear when I know I won't lose my job. So, you know, but I know that people are struggling. I know I'm struggling. I'm behind on a lot of stuff. I'm behind on my emails. I took a break from this. I don't know what that's gonna look like. Not that people really watch these videos, so like, doesn't matter. It's a really unsettling time, and only you can do what's best for you. And like, I joke about buying books and everything, but honestly, if the worst thing that happens out of this is I buy a bunch of books, it's really not that bad. And what I just keep telling myself, honestly, and it's hard, like, I have trouble sleeping, and I haven't slept, I mean, I was barely sleeping well before this, but I have trouble falling asleep. I have trouble getting things done. Feel at a loss. I just want like a hug from my mom, and I just want everything to go back to normal. You know, I want to go on Twitter and see things trending that aren't related to this virus, and maybe that's selfish, but then I'm selfish, I guess. Like, and I think it's okay if you are too. I'm worried for my friends, I'm worried for my family who are impacted by this, whether it's medically or financially. Whether it be medically, financially, you know, it's really hard. And I'm just planning for tomorrow, you know, like tomorrow. Like, I guess I'm like unintentionally like pulling a Scarlett O'Hara here, but like tomorrow is another day, and tomorrow everything can change, and that could be for the good or for the bad, but tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is going to come, and whatever tomorrow throws at you, you can handle it, I can handle it. And one of the things I've been saying to myself when I'm in like peak sad times is, this is going to make such a story. And that seems really weird, but I pictured myself like 20-30 years from now, I have kids, and they're learning about this in school, right? And as awful as this is, it's still, it's a story, it's a moment. And again, it's awful, I'm not trivializing it, but this is like a once in a lifetime, not even lifetime, like once in 100 years, once in several hundred years kind of a situation. And it seems weird, I guess, to say that at least it's a story, but it is. And you're gonna have so much of it recorded. Like, I know a bunch of people I follow on YouTube are recording just because they want to remember this. They want to remember what things felt like, what they did, how they coped, and that's okay. And if that's you, that's okay. And if you want to share memes, whether it be about the virus or not the virus, it's okay. Just because you laugh or you joke doesn't mean you're not taking it seriously. Doesn't mean that you're not being responsible. Like, it could be, but it doesn't mean you are. I know this has gone off on a tangent, but it's something that's really been like weighing on me, and I just wanted to put it out there. I've said it on like my personal Facebook to people there too, but it's like, I want to say it in case you feel alone and somebody happens to see this and feels the same way, is if you want to avoid every mention of this, of the virus in like your internet content, that's okay. Like, I am, for the most part. Like, I'm trying to watch a lot of YouTubers who aren't talking about it. I'm going back and watching old videos because that's not pertaining to this. That's fine. I'm going on TikTok and watching like cat TikToks because it's funny and it's a release, and you need to laugh and you need to cry and you need to entertain yourself. And if you're home all day and you lost your job, don't let anyone tell you, Murphy, don't throw that book on the floor. Don't let anyone tell you that you have to take this opportunity to like change your life, read 100 books, watch all the TV shows, like work out every day, do whatever. If you want to do any of those things, that's great, do them, go for it, but you don't have to. Like, you're still a human being, and whether you now have 20 extra hours of free time or you have no free time because now you're working from home and you have kids, and you're a caregiver, or you have your pets, or you have your significant other, or you're all alone like me and you feel lost and you feel like all you want to do is go see a human being. I never realized, even though I'm an introvert, how important my socialization at work is. How important it is for me to be able to talk to the people who sit next to me every single day. How much of an impact they have on my life. How important my weekly dance classes are. which my studio is great. She's been trying to do Zoom classes and online stuff, and God bless her, and I hope she comes out of this okay. I'm sure she will. She's doing the best she can. That is such a part of my life, and I'm missing it, and I need it. And it's okay to feel sad about that, you know? Like, Murphy's life has been turned upside down because I'm home every day, and it's been 3 weeks, and he still doesn't know what to do. He's still so confused about why I'm here and why I'm sitting in his chair that he likes and why I'm blocking his view of the outside. Like, and it's okay if you're confused, and it's okay if you're unsure of what your life is gonna look like. I don't know. This was very rambly. This was unintentional. But I just want you to know that you're not alone, and you're cared for, and you're loved, and people are thinking about you, whether they know you or not. I'm thinking about every single person in this world, and I'm worried for them, but I'm hopeful for them. I think, Murphy, stop. And we will get through this, and tomorrow is another day. It is. I promise you, it is. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you for coming to my book haul and rambly, maybe motivational, supportive comments. So yeah, thank you. And if you've emailed me or anything, I am getting to it. Work has just been sucking the life out of me. But hopefully by the end of the month I will be all caught up with that. That's my plan, my goal. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you sometime with another video. Bye!